What's going on, guys? Welcome back to GTA 5. Today we're here finally with the street version of the Dominator FX or the Foxbody Mustang. Now we have driven the Interceptor version of this car previously on the channel, but if you guys head on into Southern San Andreas, you'll find that you can buy this thing as a street car for 1.5 million. We're going to be picking this thing up today. I think we'll start with white. We'll probably be changing the color, but you guys know the drill. We're going to do a full-out drift build on this thing. We'll start off at the auto shop, do all the cosmetics, and then we'll head down to LS Car Meet, throw some low grips on it, and get some slides. And there it is, guys, our very own Foxbody Mustang. Super stoked to have this thing here in the auto shop. Like I said, we did drive the Interceptor version of this car, but those are both H1 and Thermals cars, and those were both merged onto low grips, so that was super sick. We have some idea of the mods that we prefer for drifting, but I haven't had a chance to customize this car for myself yet. We're gonna get this thing going here in the auto shop, do all the customization down here, and then we'll head down to LS Car Meet, get the low grips and whatnot. So we're gonna start off here with arch covers. We got stock, extended, plastic, and bolt-on. Truthfully, I feel like I like extended the best, although I don't know if that's gonna help the fitment. Oh, it actually doesn't change the fitment between the two. I think we're gonna go with extended just to kind of accentuate that body line a bit. And I think next we're gonna head down to respray. You know, typical NTNS build. We're gonna get this thing going way out of order here. We got ice white as a base color. Secondary, we're gonna do ice white as well. I don't think we're gonna stick with white on this car as much as I'd love to, but I do think it's gonna kind of help us see how the build's gonna turn out long term. So we'll head back into arch covers here. Check out the stock. I think I still like the extended. It's a subtle touch, but I think we'll leave extended for now and see how that feels. Armor, I think we're gonna go all the way up here. Just in case I crash, we are gonna drift this thing. Brakes will leave stock for drifting. Bumpers, let's see here. Front bumpers. Oh, we got some options. More options than I expected. Like I said, guys, we drove this car but didn't customize it, so this is all new to me. We got the sport here. I like the sport a lot. Graded tuner. We got the race bumper, which I like a lot as well. Race bumper with lights and race package. I think the race package is a little much. For me, it's between the race bumper and the sport bumper here. Now, I do like the way that the race bumper extends out the front a little bit. It does make it a little more boxy though, so that's something to keep in mind here. Sport's a little more sleek. Race is a little more boxy. Let's lower it before we choose a bumper. You guys know we're not doing this in order, man. We're gonna go to suspension next. So into suspension here, guys. Competition suspension. Get it low. And now that I'm looking at the side of the car, I'm thinking I'm gonna like that lower front bumper. So if you guys look at the tuner bumper here and the race bumper, it actually brings the front of the car a little bit lower to be flush with the side skirt area, which I think is huge for the body line on this car. So we're gonna go with race bumper, and then we're gonna head into skirts and see if we can find something that's styled a little bit closer to that indent on the front bumper. So we got street here, carbon, sport, carbon, race, flush. Ooh, flush might work. Tuner. Ooh, tuner's even better. And intake. I think I'm liking the tuner ones the best. So we're gonna go with tuner for now, and then back over to bumpers. We're gonna look at the rear bumpers here as well. So we got sport, tuner. I think tuner's gonna be the pick. Wheelie bar. This isn't that kind of build. And wheelie bar with shoot. I think we're gonna go with tuner for now. Got kind of that drifting flair like an AE86, which is pretty dope. And then next, I think we're gonna go over to exhaust and see if we can find something that pokes out a little better. There we go. Twin chrome tip. Race exhaust, kind of missing the indents though. That looks a little silly. We got the side exit there, titanium side exit, and then fender mounted exhaust, which is pretty sick. But I do think the twin chrome tip is gonna be our best bet on this bumper. And then we are gonna go EMS 4 here. More power, baby. Let's do it. We got grill up next. We got the stock grill, the painted grill, graded grill, painted graded grill, badged grill, painted badged grill, and letterbox. So here's the thing, guys. Looking at some real Fox bodies here, I feel like the letterbox is actually the closest to that front bumper. So I'm thinking we're actually gonna go with that letterbox front grill. It just feels a little bit more like a real Fox body to me that way, and I think that's looking pretty good. So we're gonna go on into hood next here, guys. We got stock, we got ridged intake, we got low cowl, which honestly looks pretty good, high cowl, which is very muscle car, twin vented, turbo cover, and race vents here. This one jumped out to me the most. We're gonna go with low cowl, I think. We'll go with something a little bit OEM plus here, a little bit more modified. Let that engine breathe a little bit better. We got horn up next. We're gonna skip it. Lights. You know what? I do like the stock lights here on a little bit of an older car. We might go to white eventually, depending on the body color, but for right now, we're gonna leave the lights. Livery. Let's see what we got here. We got double white stripes, kind of hard to see on the white paint. You know what? Maybe it's a good idea to go over to respray next. We're pretty close here on our visuals, so we'll go over to respray. Pick a color. Now, I'm thinking Stevie blue might look pretty good on this thing, so let's check this thing out in blue. So classic surf blue looks pretty awesome to me, guys. I don't want to go with something too modern or saturated, like racing blue or something like that. I think this car, where it's a little bit older, those more muted out colors feel better. I love the surf blue. We're gonna run this for now. And up next, we're actually gonna head, you know what? Let's see what we got for trim color. Oh, that does the whole interior. That's crazy. You know what? Tan might not look bad on this color. Let's try tan. Oh, that honestly does not look bad. I almost always go with black interiors too, so I feel like if there's ever a time to do it. I don't love those blue stitches though. Maybe, oh, it doesn't change. The blue stitches we're stuck with, which I do think I think the black looks better with the blue stitches. Yeah, it's just a shame that we get the blue stitches on the tan. I think that's gonna make us stick with black. I know, I almost did something that wasn't black or white on something, but I think we're gonna go with the black interior here, and then we'll walk it back to livery. We'll see what we got. We got double white stripes, classic stripes, snake eater, overhead, black snake, twin bottom, red snake eater, geometry snake eater. Man, whoever made these liveries like snakes a lot. We got hardcore hardcore stripes. Rust. Oh, the rust isn't bad, dude. That's pretty cool. It's a little too rusty, though. We got old school, a little bit more of a racing style, or like maybe a lowrider style. Old school rusty, rusty graffiti, race flames, and that's it. So I do like the rust. I think it's a little bit too much rust, though. And it looks weird with the glossy finishes. It looks like it got clear coated over, which I think would be fixed if we did matte. But I think we're going to leave the blue for now. It looks too nice to rust it out. Loss and theft we can skip. Mirrors. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got some options here. We got painted stock, squared mirrors, painted squared, which might be even nicer, vintage chrome, vintage painted, race mirrors, painted race mirrors, import mirrors, little dots in action, and import chrome. So I think I liked, honestly, I think I like the painted stocks the best. I think they're just a little bit bigger, beefier, more muscle car. We're gonna go with the painted stocks. Up next, we got the plate. Honestly, this thing would be sick with pounders. We might have to have our man H1 hook us up with a pounders plate on this because I feel like that would be so cool. But for now, I think I like blue on white too, and then we'll get NTNS media going on this thing as well. And I think we're gonna leave the roll cage off on this one, but just so you guys can see the options, we got street, half, and full. And I did prefer drifting this car without the roll cage when we tested the cop version, so we're gonna leave that out. Sun strips, let's see, we got plastic, not bad, primary, secondary, carbon, and vapid. I think we're gonna leave it off. Maybe we'll go with plastic or carbon. The black's not bad. Let's run the carbon for now. We can always take it off if we don't love it in the future. Skirts we already did. Spoiler we are gonna leave off, but we'll go through the options. We got bolt-on, ducktail. The ducktail looks so good, man. I wish I could run a spoiler on it, but we did prefer the car without the spoiler for drifting. We got large ducktail, sport, rolled lip, race spoiler, bridge spoiler, touring, drag, painted drag, and that's gonna be it. So we're gonna leave the spoiler off just for handling's sake. Transmission we can max out as well. Turbo we're gonna throw on here. Up next we got the wheels. This is gonna be a big pick. Now, I feel like white wheels on this color would look great, but I don't know if they are the pick for a Foxbody Mustang. So I do like the track fitment here. I just want to see real quick what white TEs would look like on this car. I don't think we're going to stick with it. Honestly, those look great. They look better than I thought. Now, my other color option was like carbon black, which doesn't look bad either, but honestly, the white kind of pops. So I like the white color. We'll check a couple different styles though before we commit to the TEs. I feel like they're a little bit more JDM tuner style, and we might be able to find something that's a little bit more American muscle. Ooh, honestly, the rough welds look good too. Ooh, I don't know. These look sick. Cup champions, huh? A little NASCAR reference. These are a little bit more appropriate for the American vibes. We got some steelies, some vented, some steelies. But I do think the Cup champions might be the pick. I don't love that we have chrome on the wheels, but nowhere else on the build. That's my only kind of pushback. Although we do have chrome on the tailpipe. That kind of works. And I feel like just for the sake of originality, that it's better than TEs, we're going to go with the Cup champions on this build. We're going to go a little bit out of our comfort zone here. And then for tires, we'll throw the low grips on down at the LS car meet. I don't think we need any tire letters or anything. This build's pretty clean. And we'll do the windows up next. We got, let's see, maybe a little light smoke might be cool. I honestly like being able to see the interior though. A little bit of an older car as well. Limo's definitely way too dark. We'll do light smoke. I think light smoke's pretty nice. Ties in some of those black elements. And that's gonna do it, guys. I think that's everything. Let's go through the list one more time, make sure we got everything, and then let's head down to the LS car meet. Cup champions look a little, they look a little small. All right, guys, so that was everything for the auto shop. We're pulling into the LS car meet here. I was looking at it in the overworld. I feel like these wheels might be a little bit small, at least the face of them anyway. So we are gonna head on into wheels here, and we are gonna do our low grip tires up first, get those going, and then we're gonna take one more look through the wheel styles because I'm not super sold on the wheels yet. I do think these bigger faces looked a little bit better in the street category here. I don't know, this might be one of those videos where we change the wheels out a few times. I originally was thinking like Nardo gray with these guys, the Mercy concaves in like dark gray, but I'm just loving the blue on white way too much to change that scheme now. I don't think I'm as in love with the TE37s as I am the rough welds, and the Cosmos are too like basic for what I normally do and a little bit too JDM, so I think we'll go with the rough welds for now, see how those look in the overworld and get some drifts. All right, guys, first drifts here in the Foxbody Mustang. Such a fun car. It's just as good as I remember the Interceptor version being. I'm not sure if they're going to be exactly the same car, the Interceptor version and the street car. I assume they handle and drive the same way. If any of you guys know better, let me know definitely down in the comments below, but this thing is so good. I do wish it had the drift tuning, just like the 300ZX. I feel like it's kind of a layup for drift tuning. Definitely would have made a lot of sense for it to have it, but honestly, even without it, it's so much fun, and I feel like low grips have been a lot of fun for those of us who have been on drift tuning for a little bit here and just kind of need something new to drive. So super stoked on this thing here on low grips. I think what we're going to do is get this surf blue Foxbody down to the beach, get some beach lines in this thing, see how it handles with a little bit more speed behind it, and then we're going to go to LSIA and get a little bit less grip on it as well down in the hangar and see how it does down there. All right, guys, here we are, the little late afternoon beach slides here in our surf blue Foxbody. Vibes on point. We got the haze clearing out for us as well, and this is going to be the perfect line for me to kind of get some practice out here because my higher speed low grip drifting here on the full grip surfaces is a little bit rusty compared to what it used to be, but like I said, it's a super fun challenge to get out here in some low grips and just drift around and sort of feel it out after being on the drift tuning for so long. This car is super nice, super responsive. It's got a great mid-drive speed boost. The more I drive it, the more I feel like the mid-drive is super controllable, which is really nice to get that little jolt of power without needing to beg for it too bad. And even if you don't, honestly, it's got so much power. We did max out the powertrain, so you don't have to worry too much about the mid-drive kicking in or not. Like right there, I just kind of left it in gear and it was trying to break loose. We are still kind of feeling the car out just a little bit. This is a new line for us and definitely a little bit more of like an intermediate to an advanced line compared to some of the others that we drive sometimes. But I think that's about where we're at skill level, man. I think this car is super capable of it, and we're getting a little bit better here at the low grip stuff as well. You know, this used to be all we had. We only used to have, you know, even before low grips, we had full grip drifting. Cars like the Fudo and the Banshee 900R, you'd stance them up. Speaking of stancing, that's something I don't often do, but I wonder, can you stance this thing? Do I want to riddle it with bullets? I do. I want to see. I don't think the Interceptor version was stanceable, but maybe this thing will be. Nope, it is not. Okay, so definitely not stanceable, but that's no problem. This thing is still so much fun here. Definitely a blast of a car. It's honestly, it gets around even high speed with full grip. It is an absolute blast. And I think with any low grip drift car too, especially this one, the more you learn it, the better you're gonna be in it too. You kind of learn where it likes to oversteer and snap and all of that as you drive it more. And so, as you guys can see, the lines are getting much smoother as we go. It's running out of power or having a little too much grip in some of the longer extensions, which I think, again, the more I drive it, the better it's going to feel. So we got a little bit of sunlight left here on the beach. I'm going to get a few more laps in this thing and see if at least I can extend that middle section before we head down to LSIA. I think it's going to feel great in the hangar where there's less grip. Let me get around this car here. Evasive maneuvers, and then here, yeah, see, you let it build a little bit more speed and carry a lot more. I'd like to get out a little bit further into this wall. It's gripping up on me a little bit there. I'm wondering if maybe wheel choice or something too could kind of help it just a little bit in the handling department. But honestly, I'm loving the fitment and I'm loving the wheel choice on this car looks-wise. So I think we'll leave them and see if I can kind of driver mod out some of those issues I'm having with the car. And try again here. This is the one section where it's really struggling. Here we go, carry a little bit more momentum out to the wall. Excuse me, sir. Thank you, we got it. We'll try it one more time as we come around here. I do think, like I said, you just get used to it, you know? You kind of drive the car a few more laps and figure out where it likes to carry its power, and I am so used to the drift tuning. See there, I put a little bit too much in it and kind of used up some of the power and let it shift, so that wasn't great. Bring it around here. It's great down this way. It has no problem kind of transitioning this way, and so much of that is your steering and just keeping it smooth as well. Bring it around up onto the sidewalk. Handles bumps very well as well. That's something that the low grips can be a little tough on, especially on this line, is getting up onto that sidewalk. Right there, a little bit of a correction on transition, and I spin it, man. I think we can get it out a little wider. Let me try one more time. We'll come around this way. Again, so much of this is gonna be driver mod here, guys. This isn't like, oh, the car's bad. I think it's just, I gotta figure out the right line to take. Let it build some speed. There we go, hit the mid-drive there. And I'm still correcting a little bit into that corner, but all in all, not bad. I'm a little wiggly with it. Let me try rolling the sticks as well. That might help as well. And when I say rolling the sticks, guys, if you're ever curious about that, what I mean is instead of moving your sticks side to side, try and point your sticks upward, right? Like point your stick forward and roll the stick around the, I guess like the ball or the cup on the controller. And that'll smoothen out your steering. And that works for a lot of drifting games on controller. I ran out of power there and the car shifted, but that made the steering look a lot better. Once again, up onto the sidewalk here, rolling the sticks, a little bit more forward drive because we're trying to build speed out towards that wall through our transition. That was a lot better. Of course, why is there always a pedestrian when I need to get on the wall? Get out the way, you see me drifting, lady. No awareness on these people, you know? All right, we got it this time. Come on now, up onto the sidewalk, rolling the sticks, build some speed here. Much better transition that time. There's still some more people. It just feels a little bit too gripped up. So I'm wondering if maybe muscle wheels or tuner wheels or something would help a little bit with that instead of the track wheels, or street wheels, I'm sorry. But everywhere else, this thing's super solid. Let's get this thing down to LSIA and get some hangar drifts. And then we might return here to end the video just to see with some different wheels if it has a little bit of an easier time not gripping up. Oh, that was a good transition. Oh, that was it. That was way, you know, funny enough, going wider there made the car a lot better on that transition. Let me try that again. See, that's what I'm saying. So much of this is driver mod, right? It's skill. It's not really the car's fault. You know, obviously, if this was Car X or Forza or something, you'd be able to tune it to your driving preferences and set it up for yourself. But, you know, this is GTA, so let's try and swing it out a little bit wider here. Better. A lot better. So obviously, guys, with some seat time, it is super solid. Let's get this thing over to LSIA to end the video and see how it does over there. And here we are, guys. Final spot of the day. LSIA Hangar, a little bit lower grip in here. This thing's gonna be so much fun. I can already tell. Open up the gate here. I think this thing's gonna be an absolute blast in the hangar. I think the one thing I would change about this car is give it a little bit less grip, even on these low grips, which is gonna get solved here in the hangar. That's so good. It's so good in here, man. It's got the perfect amount of power, perfect amount of grip. Oh, I could tandem this thing in here for hours, man. This thing is sick. Super stoked on how it came out style-wise. We'll roll the sticks a little more, too. That's something I gotta work on as far as smoothing out my my transitions on low grips here. Drift tuning spoils us. You know, you don't have to worry about that as much on the drift tuning, but you get a lot more jerky transitions, you know, a little bit more of a stuttery style of driving on low grips if you go side to side, in my experience. So I'll try and roll those sticks as best I can here. And this thing is super awesome, man. I can't wait to get this thing on a stream, get some tandems with you guys. If you guys aren't following on Twitch, links are going to be in the description down below to both our Twitch and our Discord if you guys are looking to drive with us. Super stoked to see what the boys have going for Foxbody builds as well. I know the Interceptor version's been out for a little bit, but it's way more expensive, and we haven't been able to see a lot of the guys come through with builds just because of the price tag on that thing. So it's awesome that it's out as a street car now for everybody to build up. And honestly, the Interceptor was a huge pain in the butt to even get drifting because you had to merge it onto some low grips, and that made it a whole process as well. And so this thing is just super accessible, and we're gonna see a lot more Fox bodies now, which is awesome as I spin this thing out. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it a ton. If you guys did enjoy the video or found it useful at all, please feel free to leave a like down below, subscribe for more just like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.